Growing generational wealth. Good morning. The Wall Street Journal is saying that moving in together doesn't match the financial benefits of marriage, but why? I found this article this morning and I was like, you know what? I haven't been on Growing Generational Wealth channel for a very long time and I need to jump back on. So here we are. Happy New Year to you and your family. On this channel, we talk about money, we talk about investing, we talk about saving, saving for college, saving for emergency funds, growing generational wealth. Most importantly, is having money to pass on to the next generation. That's how we get our generation or children or family out of poverty if we have some money to pass on to the next generation. And so I want to thank you for your love and support. I know it's been a while, but I'm back, baby. I am back because we have to do what? We have to grow generational wealth. Be sure to subscribe, thumbs up, share this out. You can share this on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, in your email. You can share this out and help me to grow this channel, help us to spread this information about growing generational wealth, getting out of debt, sitting down, doing the numbers, coming up with a plan to get out of debt so that we can save, we can invest, and most importantly, we can leave generational wealth for our children. I have my book here. It's just a basic notebook I got from the store. I'm going to be writing a book on how to get out of debt and how to grow generational wealth. But I keep my stuff in here. I know every debt I have. I know how much we have coming in. I know how much our budget is. I know everything. In order for you to get out of debt and grow generational wealth, you need to know what's going on with your finances. So I want to thank you for your love and support. And so I thought this article was extremely interesting. Be sure to check out Janice Hilton. My main channel is Janice Hilton. And then my backup channel to my Janice Hilton channel is Allegedly Janice. And of course, I have the Bible study channel. And of course, I have this one, Growing Generational Wealth. And talking about growing generational wealth, I have a husband profile course coming up. How many of you know that the husband you choose determine the rest of your lives, ladies? Men, the wife you choose determines the rest of your life. Hello, Prince Harry. But anyways, you got to go over to Janice Hilton channel to see what I'm talking about over there with Prince Harry. Okay, I'm growing my nope shirt because we don't believe in shacking up. Okay, we don't shack up. We value ourselves, ladies. We value our bodies. And we are not going to allow any man to use our bodies for his benefit without marrying us. Okay. So, in this article, Wall Street Journal, let me just say I am so proud of the Wall Street Journal for encouraging marriage. Let's make this a full screen layout. So shout out to the Wall Street Journal again. It says moving in together doesn't match the financial benefits of marriage, but why married couples are 4 times as wealthy as unmarried couples who live together. And let me just say, we believe in marriage. We don't sign no paper. We don't believe in none of that. We don't believe in shacking up. We don't believe in being a 10 years girlfriend. We believe in going down to the courthouse and getting married, with the exception, if you, I knew a couple, I heard of a couple, they were like in their 80s. They were both widows. He was a widower, she was a widower. They had money, lots of money together, and it was just too much paperwork to do the legalities. So they went down to the church and got married. But everything is financially separate. They had children and grandchildren, great grandchildren, and stuff like that. But boo boo, you 30 and broke. What's your sense of not getting married? Ladies, he's 30. Why he don't want to marry you? But the thing is, when he finds the one that he want to lay his life down for, he will marry her, but he'll shack up with you because you're not the one. And you want to believe marriage ain't for everybody. Boo boo, if you want to get married, marriage is for you. And in my husband profile course, I'm teaching about marriage and what marriage means and how we need to have a marriage mindset reset. All right, so let's go ahead and read this article. And it says, so you see, married couples are 4 times as wealthy as unmarried couples who live together. A walk down the aisle can be a route to greater wealth and prosperity for couples in the US. Married couples have higher net worths and are more likely to be homeowners than their unmarried counterparts their age are. The mystery, though, is why cohabitating but unmarried couples struggle to build wealth in the same way. As of 2019, the median net worth for cohabitating couples aged 25 to 34 was 17,362 a quarter than of the 68,210 for married couples of the same age range, according to the data from the Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis. Okay. Somebody said I say okay too much, so I have to stop saying that. Okay. Some things I'm willing to change, some things I won't. So that's interesting. Oh, okay. There I go. Okay again. The wealth gap, the wealth gap between the partnered and married couples is larger than one might expect, said Anna Kent, a senior researcher at St. Louis Fed. It's so intriguing, she said. Really? Tell us. Well, those of us who are marriage minded, we know that. So it says share your thoughts. Let's see what is this. What explains the gap in the median net worth of cohabitating couples when let's use shacking up, living in sin, when compared with married couples? Join the conversation below. Over the past 2 decades, Americans are moving in together at higher rates, according to the data from Pew Research Center. The share of U.S. adults who are currently married steadily declined from close to 60% in the 1990s to under half in 2019, according to Pew. Over the same period, the share of adults aged 18 to 44 living together with a partner climbed to 59%. Shameful. Many young couples now approach marriage as a capstone event, said Andrew Sherlin, professor emeritus of sociology and public policy at Johns Hopkins University, who studies marriage. If you build an arch, the cornerstone is the first piece you put in, and the capstone is the last, he said. What this means is people see an economic bar they need to clear before they got married. Couples wait until they have good jobs, a car that won't break down, maybe even a house, then they get married. Melissa Moore, a 30-year-old communications manager in Asheville, North Carolina, has been with her boyfriend for 5 years and living together for nearly 4. The two don't share a joint bank account, but they split the cost of rent and other bills. Even so, Miss Moore says she can't make sense of the financial gap between her relationship and that of married couples. In other words, she's tired of shacking up. She want to get married, but he don't want to get married. But I bet you she's washing, cooking, cleaning, and having sex with him and enjoying it. She said, we're already saving a lot of money and splitting the costs on most things. Ms. Moore said, I don't understand how married couples are accumulating wealth in a way we're not doing, because you're living in sin. That's why. We're already saving a lot of money and splitting the costs on most things. She said, I don't understand how married couples are accumulating wealth in a way we're not. You need to read The Millionaire Next Door. While there are legal and tax benefits to marriage, research suggests the financial security and long-term mindset of those who tie the knot may also be a powerful driver of wealth. More married couples pool their money, such as sharing savings accounts and investing together to achieve certain goals. Ms. Ken said cohabitating couples are less likely to combine finances and investments. That's a good point. That is a very good point. Working with two incomes and combining their investments to maximize compound interest can significantly increase a couple's financial prospects, said Emily Garbinski, associate professor of marketing at Cornell University, who has studied couples' financial behavior. Simply put, married people may be more likely to be on the same page financially. She said, yes, because you sit down and you have a plan. Married people be more likely to have these conversations around what goals they have for their financial future, she said. There seems to be something very special and unique about deciding to share finances. Unmarried couples may be less willing to commit commingling their money, said Professor. Our money, our income represents a huge part of who we are, she said. Sharing that can be scary for people, so they tend to be very protective. Both married and unmarried couples who do pool finances also experience greater relationship satisfaction and may even stay for a longer, Professor Grassi said. Housing is one of the biggest factor in establishing a couple's wealth. Compared with single people and cohabitating couples, married couples hold a larger concentration of housing wealth, according to the data from St. Louis Fed. Most of my married friends have bought a house, Miss Morris said. Noting high housing costs in her area. I just don't know how they did it. Everyone talks about how when you get married, you accumulate wealth, but I don't know what they mean. Maybe if you find somebody who want to marry you, you'll find out. In the current hyper competitive housing market, as similar, more affordable starter homes vanish and housing affordability declines, single people and cohabitating couples are often at a disadvantage. These housing prices are so high that you really need pool resources to be competitive in some of these markets, said Louis Ricketts, a data scientist at the St. Louis Fed. So, say economic factors play a role in the difference between married and partnered wealth. The higher your income, the likelier it is that you'll marry. A 2027 report by the American Enterprise Institute found plotted a high path forward as a couple without much money isn't as easy as getting hitched and suddenly seeing your wealth growth, Professor Sherlin said. Some looking at the data would say, well, these married people are much more successful than their cohabitating people. If those people would just get married, they'll do better. He said, whether or not there is truth in that, people don't tend to believe in it anymore. People who aren't doing well financially don't see a clear path to financial success. It goes on. Marriage rates are lowering among Black and Latino groups. And those same households of similar ages held for less wealth than their white counterparts, whether married or unmarried. Let me take this down. Notice how they don't say how the number of Black kids are increasing. 80%. That means if you line up 100 kids, and I'm not sure these percentage because they change so often. If you line up 100 Black kids, 80 of them lives in the single mama homes. I usually take away 10% for divorce and widowed. I just don't count those as single people. To me, single parent home is you just laying around, sleeping around, you got pregnant and you had to decide, thank you for having the baby. To me, that's single mama. Okay, and then have multiple. One we understand, but multiple. Okay, so you notice how they said the marriage rate is decreasing for Black and Latinos, but they don't tell us how many of these kids, how we have in most of the kids. They also don't mention, maybe I'll read it later, that increases the number of children in poverty. A lot of children of color live in poverty. But we having the most babies, we getting married the less. Let me read, y'all. Let's read that again. Marriage rates are lowering among Black and Latina groups. And those same households of similar age held far less wealth than their white counterparts, whether married or partnered. Family structure also influences the overall net worth of a household. Partner couples with young children tend to have less wealth than partner couples without children. Some cohabitating couples are refashioning their financial goals. Instead of buying a house, Miss Murray and her partner recently looked into house share that would allow them to spend part of the year working from Belize. They have discussed getting married, although having made plans to do so, because he don't want to marry you. They've discussed getting married. Isn't this something you should discuss before you shack up? I care a little bit less than I thought I would about marriage because he don't want to marry you. That's why you think less of it. She said, once you start living together, it almost feels like you made that commitment. No, it don't. Right, Julia Carpenter. Uh right, to Julia Carpenter at that's the email if you want to write to her. Okay. So I really love this article. Here's another one for marriage. Of course, choosing the right mate, choosing the right husband, ladies. Wait, don't get with a man who is a potential who is not financially stable. The older men get, the more financially stable they get usually. Okay, this is why I'm not for young people getting married because they're not financially stable. I believe a man should be financially stable before he marries a woman. So let me know what you think about growing generational wealth. As the Wall Street Journal says, um, moving in together doesn't match the financial benefits of marriage. Okay, because you're shacking up. You're two. You're two individual. You're married, you become one. My husband provides and pay the bills around here. My income goes to our savings, our investments, and all of that. Saving for, I was looking at this a new year. We look over our finances. Look, I said we need to put a little bit more money in little Michael's college fund because we have a little bit more money available to us. So I need to increase his college fund. All right. I absolutely love and I adore you. I want to know what you think. Please spread the word about growing generational wealth and let's grow this channel. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'll be in the comments. Mwah! Remember to check out Alexiful Boutique. I didn't tell you guys about Alexiful Boutique, but Janice Hilton and allegedly Jan. Love you. Bye.